Well, you better, girl. Because in a couple hours from now, I'm going to be all that you've got. And if that isn't enough for you, Tina, then
Of course it is, honey. Look, Look, I'm sorry, all right? I just can't believe you were going to give that $1 million back to Asa. That money means nothing to him.
Tina, you keep talking about money, and I keep talking about principle here. Now, look, I don't care what your arguments are or what my mom's arguments are. They don't make any difference to me, all right? The issue here is pride and not wealth. When are you going to get that through your head? No, we've been talking about this over and over again since I found out the truth in El Paso. You're not going to change my mind.
Look, honey, it's just your heart that is making you feel this way, all right? Please just give it a couple weeks just to try to think it through.
Well, you just let it go, Tina, all right? Now, I'm going to go over to that mansion. I'm going to take the $1 million, and I'm going to shove it down Ace's throat. So you just better make your decision right here and now.
About what?
About what's more important to you, that damn money or our marriage.
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
Captain Moore wanted to talk to me about the kidnapping of the baby.
Darling.
Maria. Aaron told me there was a police officer here.
Hello, Mrs. Buchanan.
Hello. Have you any leads on the person who kidnapped our baby?
No, sweetheart, he's here to ask Maria to go to
You know,
police headquarters.
it doesn't make sense. I mean, I've already filed a statement saying that I never heard or saw anything unusual when I left here.
Well, obviously the captain has some more questions.
It's probably no big deal, Maria.
Well, I just don't understand what hasn't been covered.
Wait here, Blaze. This way, please.
Mr. Callison, you may proceed with your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the Commonwealth charges Daniel Wolek with the murder of Susan Bates. After listening to the testimony that will be presented to you in this courtroom, we believe that you can reach only one conclusion, that Dan Wolek is guilty of the charges against him, and that you will convict him of voluntary manslaughter. Any further, I want to say that I've long been a friend of the Wolek family. I've known the defendant for years. It pains me to prosecute a young man who would have had a brilliant future, except for one fatal mistake. He fell in love with the wrong woman. A woman whose prior life set in motion certain circumstances that led Dan Wolek to lose all reason, all control, and to strangle Susan Bates at the back street bar. Now, to cover this horrible incident, he buried the body in a wooded area behind the property.
I can't believe that he was going to prosecute this case.
Incapable of set out to commit murder on that evening, but before that evening was over, he had indeed committed this crime. Whatever the extenuating circumstances, Dan Wolek must pay the consequences of his actions, the murder of an innocent young woman. Thank you.
You may as well give up, Judith. I don't think anyone can save me after that.
Mrs. Sanders, the defense may proceed with his opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, our esteemed district attorney is wrong about everything, except for the fact that we have a dead victim, Susan Bates. Dan Wolek did not kill Susan Bates, nor did he even see her on the night in question. As for an error, oh yes, he certainly did make one mistake. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And since that moment, his life has been subjected to the attempts of the Commonwealth to railroad him into Statesville prison. And I do not use those words lightly, as I will point out later in this trial. The district attorney's office has circumstantial evidence citing Dan Wolek at the back street bar the night of the murder with absolutely no motive. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you or I had been at a deserted bar that night, we would be on trial. And just like Dan Wolick, completely innocent. The truth is that Dan Wolick knows who the real killer is, but the DA and the police don't care to listen. Well, they're not going to have any choice but to listen in this courtroom when I call the witness who's going to tell you who the real killer is.
I don't know what Captain Moore has to ask you, Mrs. Roberts, but it must be important.
Well, of course. I'll do whatever I can to help, naturally.
I'm sorry you have to be put through this, Maria.
Oh, at least the police are no longer looking for the baby. You've got her back. It's only a mystery, no longer a tragedy. Well, shall I follow you in my car?
Fine, then.
Have a nice day with the family, Vicki.
Thank you.
Maria, you call us if Captain Moore has any news.
Oh, you know I will. Yes.
Sweetheart, I know that you would just as soon the police drop this investigation. But do you really have to take it out on Maria?
I thought I was very civil to Maria.
Yes, civil. But don't you think she deserves a little more than that? I mean, she is a friend.
Clint, what was she doing here today?
She came by to see how we're doing now that Jessica's
I
back.
think it's got to be perfectly obvious to her just how we're doing. Why couldn't she call first?
Sweetheart, she brought a gift by...
Clint, when are you going to see it? When are you going to see the way she looks at you, the longing? She can't hide it if she tries.
Vicki, I know that you're not exactly the jealous type, so I can't really just dismiss what you're saying. However, Maria knows how much I'm in love with you and that it would be ridiculous for her to think otherwise.
All right. Maybe it is an unconscious belief on her part, then, that she can get you away from me. But, my darling, it is there. It is so obvious the way she throws herself at you at every given opportunity. And she desperately would like for you to think more of her than just as a friend and as the mother of your grown son.
What am I supposed to do? Be rude? Be civil? I can't do that.
No, I don't want you to do that. But I do think you have to discourage these little impromptu visits here at our house, at your office. Because if you'll think about it, those visits always occur when I am not around, right?
Look, if you were in the same room with us, you would see that she is just concerned about what I've been going through, and she shares her concern about Cord with me.
Oh, sure. Every day, every hour, on the hour. Clint, I'm sorry. I just think that you should discourage her from behaving like that starry-eyed adolescent that she was in Cherokee County.
Careful now, Mrs. B. Your tone of voice is creeping toward jealousy.
Honey, I really believe that there's a lot more to Maria's actions than you think.
All right. I'll buy that subconsciously there may be something going on, but not that she's manipulating. By the way, have you noticed lately how Tom Dennison has been looking at you? Huh?
All the proof I need that tells me that Asa Buchanan is the one who left me that property and not my pa.
Honey, look, I just have to try to convince you to change your mind one more time, all right? Look, I know I'm greedy. You're not. So we're going to clash, you know? But I still can't believe that you would ever think that I would take the money over you.
Tina, I'm sorry. Listen, I never doubted your love for me for an instant. I know that I'm more important to you than any damn $1 million.
No, well, just in case there's some itsy-bitsy little doubt in your mind, I'll tell you what, I am going to sign that check for Asa myself. I'm going to write it out.
Are you kidding me?
No, this way. The whole thing will be over and done with.
Yeah, but Tina, doesn't that mean that,
But no buts, all right? You were right. I was wrong. And that's that. Boy, there's a lot of zeros in this. I let you have the honor of signing it.
Thank you. I gotta tell you, girl, I know that this must be eating you up inside watching me give all this money away. But I'm glad it's ending right here. And you're not gonna let me hear about it for weeks on end, or pout, or moan, or complain about me doing this?
Honey, I love you. And we can survive forever on our love. And your salary, of course. Now, don't you think it's time you ran over there and got this to Asa?
Not just yet. I've just had a real burst of love for you all of a sudden.
But feel she believes in Dan's innocence, couldn't she?
I just hope she puts her own son on the stand.
Mr. Callison, is the Commonwealth ready to begin?
We are, Your Honor. We would like to call first witness Allison Perkins.
Allison Perkins?
I hope he doesn't chop her up into little pieces.
If he does, I'll put her back together again. She's telling the truth.
Well, I can't help remember what he did to Cassie when she was on the stand. She was telling the truth, too.
Miss Perkins, where do you currently reside?
At the Waterside Inn?
Where you were also residing during the reign of Mitch Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
But on September 16th, you needed a place to stay so desperately that you and the defendant, Dan Wolek, entered a deserted bar on River Street called the Back Street Bar because he knew there was an apartment in the building?
Yes. I mean, it was an impulse. I wanted to get out of the Waterside Inn because of my memories of Mitch Lawrence, and Dan knew of the back street, so we went there and the door was open.
So some of those memories of the Waterside and Mitch Lawrence must have included a fellow disciple named Susan Bates.
Yes.
Tell us about your relationship with her.
Well, we didn't particularly like each other. She was rather overzealous, almost fanatical about Mitch. After Mitch was killed, she tried to burn Cassie Callison at the stake.
At which point you called for help, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
So it would be fair to say that Susan Bates didn't much like you after that.
She hated me.
What form did that hatred take?
Well, she called me up a couple of times and to yell at me, and then after she was in prison, she gave an interview with the National Intruder in which she mentioned me by name.
Your Honor, so far I've been very patient, but I fail to see the relevance in this line of questioning.
The defense knows the relevance, Your Honor. Dan Wolek came into contact with the victim, Susan Bates, because of her previous relationship with Allison Perkins.
You may proceed.
Thank you. Miss Perkins, just what is it that Susan Bates said about you in that intruder interview?
A lot of lies. It made me very angry.
And your boyfriend, Dan Wolek, did it make him angry?
Objection. The prosecution is leading the witness.
Sustained.
All right. Whom were you seeing at the time this article appeared?
Dan Wolek.
Did you show him the article? Did you express your dismay, your anger over it?
Yes.
What was his response, Miss Perkins?
He was also angry. He went to Statesville to speak with Susan Bates and tell her to stop talking about me and the Lawrence mission.
Did you urge Dan Wolek to do this?
No, it was of his own choice.
In other words, his temper propelled him to drive up there and confront a stranger on your behalf.
Objection.
I'm glad you're grinning. For a minute, I thought you were serious.
I'm not exactly joking. You have an admirer in Tom Dennison.
That is totally ridiculous. You're only saying it because of what I said about Maria.
No, I am not. I'm simply pointing out that I have noticed some times when he's been, well, he's made me wonder about his feelings for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What kind of times? Such as what?
Such as he has been privy to a couple of our discussions, and then after you leave, he has given me advice on how to deal with you.
Oh, come on.
No, he's been very protective, even proprietary.
Well, of course he feels protective. He's just found out that Joe was his twin brother, and I suppose I feel close to him because of his resemblance to Joe. That's as far as it goes on either part.
I'm not worried about where it goes on your part. I'm just not too sure that he isn't slowly, quietly falling in love with you.
But, darling, that's ridiculous. He knows how special our relationship is. He would never allow himself. Oh, it sounds familiar, is that it?
Sounds like you were just getting ready to repeat what I was saying about Maria.
I'm sorry. I still think that I'm right about Maria and you are wrong about Tom. He is simply becoming a member of the family in the real sense of the word, besides which he has been helpful.
Yeah, well, no quarrel with that. Let's just hope it stops right there. You know, he doesn't, I just don't want him to get drawn in by your fatal charms.
Fatal? They're fatal, are they?
Oh, lady, are they ever? What do you say we go upstairs and see what the children are doing?
Don't you find it odd that Jessica was taken while I was asleep on the couch, and she was brought back while you were asleep at the couch? I mean, don't you find that odd?
When I left Landfair, it was around 8:30.
So you didn't see or hear anything on your way to your car then, huh?
No, no. In fact, I remember that it was very, very quiet.
Yeah, it was late. It was dark, but there were a lot of lights on in the driveway.
Yes, the driveway was lit because Clint was waiting for Vicky.
And when you drove off the property, did you notice either a car parked nearby or headed toward the grounds?
No, no, but I wasn't being particularly aware of parked car. Actually, I was thinking about Clint. I was hoping that he would fall asleep because he needed the rest so badly.
Well, then you've really got nothing substantial to add to your testimony about the other evening then, huh?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. But would you mind telling me what you're looking for?
All right, Mrs. Roberts, a red-headed woman was spotted in the area of Landfair the other night when Jessica Buchanan was returned.
Oh, a woman with... Well, didn't you find strands of red hair in the crib? Is it the same woman? Oh, Rafe. You're not thinking it's Nikki Smith again, are you?
Just a possibility at this point, the same way it was when Jessica was taken.
And unfortunately, it's our strongest possibility.
I'm sorry, but I just can't believe that. I mean, Vicky showed no signs of instability. At least nothing more than any mother would, given the circumstances.
Well, you don't think it's odd that she drove around for 4 hours?
Oh, come on, Captain. She got a call from a woman alleging to be the kidnapper. She was off trying to get her baby back.
As you can see, Mrs. Roberts, Detective Garretts and I disagree. However, a red-headed woman was spotted in the Landfair area. And you didn't see her?
No, absolutely not. Captain, I hope you're not going to badger Vicky about this.
Well, we can't ignore the possibility, Mrs. Roberts.
But without any proof, why would you want to put any doubt in Clint's mind or try to lead Vicky to believe that she's emotionally ill? With all that they've been through, I would find that irresponsible.
Oh, you're entitled to your... Excuse me. More.
Well, this is the most important part of the plan, and I thought I made that clear.
But I told you I don't want to dress up like Nikki Smith to take the baby back.
Allison, it's only a precaution just in case somebody sees you.
If somebody sees me, they're going to think that it's Nikki Smith who's behind this whole kidnapping.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt your day for what appears to be no reason, but it was a lead, and we're obligated to check it out.
Oh, I understand, but now I'm heartsick. I mean, if there is a possibility that the kidnapper might be Nikki Smith.
Then the baby's still in danger, isn't she?
Oh, wait, Captain, wait. Maria, that's enough, thanks.
Well, good luck in finding the kidnapper, but I just can't believe that it's Vicky's alternate personality.
Thank you for your time. I'm scheduled to testify soon for another one of my favorite cases.
Now, hold it just 1 minute, Garretson. I am sick and tired of you contradicting me in front of other people. Now, just imagine for a minute if it was your own child, huh? If it was Sammy.
No one else, no one, was parked at that popular necking spot overlooking Landview.
No, and we were talking, not necking.
And the subject of the charm came up once again, and once again, Dan Wolek decided to do you a favor, to return to the backstreet bar and look for the lost charm.
First, we went to the Vernon Inn to have a drink.
Oh, that's right, where none of the waiters recall having seen the two of you together at that time.
It is not my fault, Mr. Callison, if the waiters have bad memories.
Miss Perkins, it's your memory that bothers me here. See, you can't come up with the exact times of your comings and goings with Dan Rolek.
I didn't realize that it would be necessary.
No one else seems to recall having seen you. You managed to lose a charm at the scene of a murder. You are the defendant's link to the victim. You were with him the night of the murder and the morning after.
Objection,
Now, that's
Your
strange.
Honor. Once again, the prosecution is wasting the court's time with irrelevant questions.
Oh, it seems very clear to me, Mrs. Sanders, very clear. You see, Your Honor, it is the contention of the prosecution that these two kids cooked up this whole story after Dan Rolek strangled Susan Bates.
Mr. Callison, now you know better than that. The jury will disregard the prosecutor's last remark.
All right, I retract it. Miss Perkins, let me put it this way. I'll put it directly to you. Did you and Dan Rolek work up this alibi together?
No. I'm telling you the truth.
Uh-huh. Despite your lapses of memory about other events, you're quite sure of that?
Yes, I'm positive. Dan went to the back street only to get my charm back. He had nothing to do with Susan Bates being murdered.
Yes, well, that's funny, because I remember a trial not too long ago in which you were absolutely positive about quite a few things at that time. For instance, how Cassie Callison was willingly seducing Mitch Lawrence, how there were no drugs at the Waterside Inn.
Objection, Your Honor. The district attorney is blatantly trying to sway the opinion of the jury against the witness.
I am not swaying the jury. I am establishing the character of Allison Perkins, for it is that character which is the heart of your defense and the heart of my prosecution. I want to know whether Allison Perkins can be believed and trusted.
Both counselors, approach the bench, please.
Work, you pay your bill at the Waterside Inn, you date, you feel your life is back together again.
Yes, I would just like to say that I'm very ashamed of my days with Mitch Lawrence. I made a lot of mistakes. I deeply regret that period of my life, and I think I'll always be trying to make up for it.
You feel you've become a trustworthy person, Allison?
Yes, I'm a nurse's aide at Lambview Hospital. I work in pediatrics.
Did Dan Rolek act guilty the morning after the murder? Did he say or do anything that suggested he may have committed a heinous crime?
No, he just gave me my charm back. He was a little concerned that Detective Gerritsen had been there and that he had the blood on his shirt and he didn't know where it came from, but that's all.
He didn't ask you to help him with an alibi as to why he went to the back street or his movements prior to going there?
No, absolutely not. There was no reason for it.
Thank you, Allison.
Redirect, Mr. Callison.
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, Miss Perkins. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Commonwealth calls Dr. Stan Leland, medical examiner for Lantano County.
Dr. Stan Leland?
You are going to back us up about being at the back street that night, aren't you? Good.
Quick, stop.
Stop? Tina, you've never said stop to me. Or at least not since we've been married.
I know, honey, but I think you have to get to Ace's.
Now, all of a sudden, you're in a hurry for me to give that money back? What's going on here?
Well, I keep thinking about it, you see, and I would just get it off my mind, all right?
Yeah, well, we can wait for just a little while longer.
But, honey, if you take that to Ace, then we can spend the whole day in bed. And then I won't even be just the least bit distracted.
Oh, you won't? All right.
But you know what? I should probably warn you about something. I mean, knowing Asa as well as I do.
What is it?
Well, you know, you're going to go yell at him and everything, right? And then Asa will probably lie. I mean, just to make himself look better and everything. I mean, heaven knows. He might even try to make your mother or Clint, or he might even try to make me seem like the villain here.
Yeah, well, he better not try saying a damn word against my mother or you or anyone else for that matter.
Well, maybe he won't. I mean, maybe he'll want to make amends so bad that he'll just be begging you for forgiveness.
Yeah, well, that's something he's never going to get.
Yeah. Well, one way or the other, at least I got to warn you, okay?
Yeah. Oh, listen, do me a favor. Why don't you call Landfair and see if there's been any news on Jessica yet? And if there is, well, have Clint and Vicky give us a call. Maybe we can go over there and help them out, okay?
Okay, I will. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, Mr. Kenilworth, please. It's Tina Roberts. Yes, hello, Mr. Kenilworth. Yes, I just wanted to tell you that I was on my way, and I want everything to go as planned, just as I told you from El Paso. Okay? I'll be right there. Bye-bye.
Very, very grateful that Jessica was well cared for. She doesn't really seem in the least to have been harmed by her experience.
No.
Fortunate in a way that this happened when she was so young, because at her age, a pair of arms is a pair of arms, right? And she was well cared for and loved, and thank God she was returned to us.
Yep. Forever and ever, our family is one. Well, except for a grandpa who happened to drop by today begging and pleading.
Really? Asa was here?
Mm-hmm. And in a lot of pain. Feeling very isolated and alone. Just like he deserves to feel.
You didn't let him see Jessica?
No, ma'am, I did not let him see Jessica. I relented about the boys. I said that they could go visit him at his house, but that he was not, and I repeat, not, to set foot in our home again. So he comes crawling around when I'm not here.
Oh, honey, a part of me understands how you feel and what you're doing, but the other part of me is awfully sad that Jessica's grandfather can't share in our happiness.
He can share in it all he wants to, from a distance. The same way I was allowed to share in Cord's growing up.
Tell you what, let's not talk about that right now, okay? Let's just enjoy being together and the peace that we have and our love for our children and the fact that our beautiful, precious little Jessica was returned to us safe and sound.
Please take a look at this shirt, Lieutenant. Tell me if this is the same shirt you took off the defendant the night of the murder.
Yes, it is.
Commonwealth would like to enter this as Exhibit B, Your Honor.
No objection.
So entered.
Now, in testimony that we just heard from the medical examiner, it was stated that the blood found on the bar was no more than 30 minutes old, and it was type A negative. Lab tests on the blood on Dan Woolek's shirt determined it to be
Type A negative.
What was Mr. Woolek's explanation for that?
He couldn't explain it. He seemed surprised, thought maybe workmen had been in the place or something.
Had workmen been there?
No.
Now, you didn't arrest him then. Now, you simply questioned him.
Yes, then released him. It was only later when the body of Susan Bates was found buried behind the property that Dan Wolek became a suspect.
And then you questioned him again that night?
No. I went to his apartment the next morning. I had been alerted by the DA's office that Susan Bates had on her person when she left Statesville Prison a cassette tape that contained evidence that Doreen Lord had acted to defend her daughter from rape and murder.
Is this that cassette?
Yes, it is.
Where did you find it, Lieutenant?
It was found on a bookshelf by Officer Nelson while we were searching Dan Wolek's apartment.
What was the defendant's explanation?
When I questioned him, he swore to me that he was innocent of any wrongdoing.
Oh. We'd like to enter this as People's Exhibit C, Your Honor.
She doesn't object to a whole lot, does she?
He's dealing with the facts, Wanda.
Mrs. Sanders, cross-examine.
Yes, Your Honor. Detective Garrettson, in your experience on the police force, would a guilty person hide evidence in such an obvious place?
Objection.
I said in his experience.
Overruled.
Depends. If a person has no reason to think that he or she is suspected, yes. But normally, if under suspicion, we have to tear a place apart to find something that incriminating.
And Dan Wolek was aware of your suspicions the night before, was he not?
Well, no. We hadn't found the body yet.
But you did find him at the scene of the crime, and being an intelligent young man, I'm sure that he... I can produce his IQ score if you'd like, Counselor. Being an intelligent young man, he'd know how a body could be found if he had just buried it, leaving a trail of blood behind. So we could assume that the evidence had been planted, could we not?
No, now I have to object.
Well, I have to introduce this idea because it's the truth. Detective Garrettson has had experience with these matters, and I don't think if there's any problem in opening a discussion on it.
I'll allow the question.
I don't really have an answer. I mean, each case is different. And sure, it could have been planted since it was so out there.
Thank you. That will be all.
Mr. Callison, redress?
Yes, Lieutenant, isn't it also possible that the defendant could have panicked and acted irrationally and hidden the tape without thinking?
Yes, sir. It's possible.
Thank you, Lieutenant. No further questions. Prosecution rests.
She's got to put Jamie on the stand.
Ready now.
I can't wait to get up there. I want to show the jury that the prosecution is nothing but speculation.
Mrs. Sanders, you may take a recess if you so wish.
No, Your Honor, we're quite prepared. The defense calls Dan Wallach to the stand.
Bates did get me to the point where I was yelling back at her. But that was only because she wasn't listening to what I was saying. I realized in that visiting room that she was not of sound mind and that nothing I was saying was getting through to her, so I left.
And that's the last time you saw Susan Bates?
I never laid eyes on her again.
Not even the night of September 16th at the back streets?
No. I was there looking for the charm that Allison lost, and when I did finally find the little gold heart, the police had arrived.
And they found blood on your shirt, but you don't know how you acquired it.
It was dark in there. I must have leaned up against the bar rail itself, and that's how I got it on my shirt.
Why did you go to the back street that night? Why didn't you wait until the next day?
Because Allison was upset about losing the charm. I thought I could make her feel better if I found it. I like her a lot, that's all.
Did you hear or see anything while you were there?
No. But someone obviously saw me or I wouldn't be here today.
What did you say to Detective Garrettson when he arrested you?
I told him that I had no reason to kill Susan Bates, and that if I had in fact committed a murder, I would not be foolish enough to hang around the scene of the crime, or to hang on to a piece of incriminating evidence such as this tape.
Let's go to the night of October 16th, when Vince Roberson made a ransom call to Asa Buchanan, and he demanded that you be the courier. Could you tell us in your own words what occurred?
When I got to the flower shop, Vince laughed. He threw a doll at me and said that he had nothing to do with the kidnapping, and that he was only using it as a vehicle to get $1 million from Asa.
Had you ever seen this man before?
Yes. He was there the night Allison lost the charm from her bracelet. He was with Jamie Sanders. Apparently, Vince was a real estate agent, and he was showing Jamie the property.
When you recognized this man, what did he do?
Again, he laughed, and he told me that he had in fact killed Susan Bates and set me up to take the fall, and that he would now have to kill me. Fortunately, my father came in, and they began to struggle for Vince's gun. And Vince's gun accidentally went off, and he killed himself. And I thought I was free. I mean, he did confess to the murder and setting me up, but the police would not believe me because I had no witnesses. So here I am, on trial for a murder I did not commit.
In other words, you're saying that no one's willing to listen to the truth.
That's right.
Object, leading the defendant.
Sustained.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness, Mr. Callison.
Thank you. Dan? Are you aware of the recurring theme in all of this? Coincidence, first of all, how you happen to be looking for an apartment in a deserted bar that turned out to be a crack factory. How you returned to that bar to look for a charm. The night of murder, coincidentally, happened in... Oh, yes. How the same man who was supposedly a real estate agent, but really a drug dealer and a kidnap impersonator, happened to see you the first night, apparently saw you the second night, and then ended up in a deserted floral shop where he confessed to all sins, including murder and setting you up.
Can I help it if that's the way it happened?
Yeah, and you can't understand why the Commonwealth finds the string of circumstances just a little bit flaky?
Objection, Your Honor.
A simple question, Mrs. Sanders, put to a young man who claims no one is interested in listening to him. Well, I'm interested, Your Honor. I'm listening. I have a lot of questions.
Yes, well, I wish you'd phrase your questions with less prejudice, Mr. Callison.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you. Ever use drugs, Dan?
Objection,
A
Your
drug
Honor.
dealer keeps popping up in this story.
Overruled.
I have not used drugs.
You look mighty uncomfortable in there, Jamie.
Yes, sir. I'm worried about that.
Has anyone ever asked you what you were doing the night of the murder?
What is that supposed to
Or
mean?
why you had this sudden impulse to bring Dan a housewarming present the morning after the murder? Or how long you've been involved in drugs? Or how deeply you were into Vince Robeson for them?
Dr. Wolf, you're on the wrong
No,
track.
I don't think so. I think I'm on the right track. I think you're the key to this whole thing, the key to my son's freedom.
Look, back off. Your son's on trial, not me.
Hey, Gramps. Or maybe you prefer Grandpa. Why don't you tell me, Asa, what the hell would you like your oldest grandson to call you?
Good morning, Cord. Are you here to make my day?
Oh, you got that right, old man. I got a little present for you. Seems like there was some kind of mistake in my pa's will. You're really going to get a kick out of this one, Asa. Seems that some of that property that used to be yours also belonged to my pa, and it was left to me in his will. I just got back from El Paso after checking out this whole damn mess. So it looks like you're $1 million richer.
You're $1 million poorer. You sure you want it this way?
What the hell are you trying to say? You trying to buy me here?
Why don't you think of it as a present from a man who made a big mistake once?
Oh, a big mistake once, huh? Which big mistake was this, Asa? The big mistake of treating my ma like she was some kind of a tramp? Or maybe the big mistake of threatening to kick my ma and my grandmother and have them both deported if they didn't get the hell out of Cherokee County? And what about the big mistake of keeping me and Clint apart for all our lives, huh? As if you ever gave a damn about me.
I'm guilty. I owe you.
Yeah? Well, I don't need any of your damn money.
I'm not talking money. I owe you the truth, something you don't know about. I don't want to be accused of withholding it later on. This is about somebody real close to your heart.
Mrs. Roberts, I want you to know that this certainly was not easy, and I hope you know what you're doing.
Of course I do. No, my husband and I have found a wonderful investment. That's why we wanted to withdraw this $1 million. Now, can I have the check?
Yes, I have it right here.
Thank you. Well, that was the easy part. Now to get Cord out of town before Asa discovers the check bounced. And Cord finds out what I've done.
Now, you just hold it right there. I'm not going to listen to another word you've got to say, because it's just going to be another damn lie anyway.
No, no lies, Cord. I guarantee it.
Oh, you guarantee it, huh? Well, I got news for you, pal. I wouldn't believe a word you said if you were on your deathbed giving it to me. Which reminds me, you were probably the one who got a hold of that letter that my pa left me, huh? The one where he was trying to confess the truth?
I hated myself for that, Cord, believe it or not. But at the time, I had to do what I had to do to keep Clint. Maybe someday when you have your own kids, you'll understand.
Why couldn't you just let the truth come out on its own, Asa? Or better yet, why couldn't you tell Clint the truth without letting him find out about it the way he did? Maybe then you would have had a chance with both of us, as if you ever gave a damn about what I felt.
Cord, I like you. I have from the first moment I met you. If we could get past this, and maybe you could talk to Clint, we could be family.
I got news for you, old man. Clint and I already are family. And you're the only one who's been cut out. You know what? You brought it all on yourself. I could almost feel sorry for you because I know what loneliness is all about. But you made one big mistake when you tried to buy me off in advance.
I bet the little bride of yours is crying her heart out over this decision.
Yeah. Yeah, Tina was upset about this at first. But she loves me enough to understand why I can't take a dime from you. Asa, I feel like I'm a real lucky man. Because I've got myself the most wonderful woman in the world as a wife. And I've got myself a fine man like Clint as a father. Not to mention all the great memories I have of Al Roberts. And my mom, Maria Roberts, she is the best woman that any man could ever want for a mother. It's just too bad that I've got a bigoted old rattlesnake for a grandpa.
If I were the lowlife you thought I was, Cordero, I could blow your happy life right out of the water.
Isn't it in fact true that when you entered the backstreet bar to find the lost charm, you also found Susan Bates hiding there?
No.
And during that accidental meeting, an argument ensued.
She wasn't there.
An argument which got out of hand, and you grabbed her around the neck.
She was not
You
there.
grabbed
I
her
was
around
alone.
the neck, Dan, and strangled her until she was dead.
That's not the
And
way it
then
happened.
you let go of her. She fell, hitting her head on
Vince
the bar.
Robeson
You
strangled her.
panicked and dragged her body out to the
That's
back.
not true. None of it is true. I am innocent, damn it.
Courtroom, please.
Sanders let her
Because he knew Dan could stand up to it.
No further questions.
Mrs. Sanders, redress?
No, Your Honor. Dan has obviously told the court everything he knows as truthfully as possible.
You may step down, Mr. Wallach.
The defense would like to call its next witness.